In today's video, I'm going to give you some simple, easy zone defenses that you could run in 5-on-5 flag football. Let's get down, let's check these out, and I hope that they really do help your team win more games. So in this first zone, it's actually the first two zones are going to be set up the exact same way, but they have two different opposite ways of running. So how we're going to be doing this is in this first one, we will have essentially a basic 2-1-2 style zone where we'll have 3, 2, 1, and 4 guarding essentially the corners and player 5 guarding the whole entire middle. Now, of course, this is what you could run if you find that the other team tends to run a lot of out routes to the corners or to the sidelines. This is the type of zone that you would probably want to run. If you find that the other team doesn't put much up the middle, then this could work extremely well. You could even have it where player 5 matches up against a running back or a quarterback to try to rush them up in the offense if you're allowed to pass that line of scrimmage. Again, it does leave the middle wide open, so if you tend to run this zone too much, they will probably find that out and say, well, let's just start chucking stuff up the middle and hope for the best, which the best would then come. However, in this next one is going to be even better. So if there's a wide receiver on both sides, you can have players 4 and 3 matched up with those players. Player 5 would then have the zone, player 2 and 1 would have their zone, and at that point, you would be just worried essentially about the running back, and that's what those 3 players in the zone would be worried about. However, for example, if you only had, let's say, one wide receiver, player 3 could then move in slightly, and he could be matched up with whichever running back essentially gets that ball. And of course, the same thing would be happening if, for example, this side had no wide receiver. We would have player 4 move in, and at that point, he would be matched up with whoever gets that ball, whether it's a quarterback looking to pass or whoever runs out to this side. So for example, if players 3 and 2 crossed, then at that point we would have player 4 taking player 2 because we don't want to have a whole side wide open. Now in this next zone, we could even run it as a 2-2-1. You could totally do that as well, and this is actually an option. So in the first option, we can run it as almost like a 2-3 zone in basketball, where we can have these guys guard their areas, and it's a pretty solid coverage map. However, what we can actually have instead is have players 4 and 3 go out a bit wider and match up with those wide receivers, while players 1, 5, and 2 still guard their zone. We could even have it where instead we can have player 5 move up a bit higher, player 2 and 1 kind of cover a zone in the middle of the field, where now we have man coverage here as well as man coverage there, and at that point you are essentially running a 3-man, 2-man zone, and it's actually quite reliable depending on the type of team that you're playing up against. If you're playing against younger players, this is definitely something that can help. However, it does leave a lot of space open on the field. I hope that these zones help you out and win more games. They're very basic, easy zones. They do leave some spaces open at older age groups, so keep that in mind. I hope that you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys again in my next video.